Member for Columbia River-Revelstoke.
Thank you very much, Mr. Speaker. And I'm reminded, speaking to you today, of the last time, or the first time, I sat here in this House as a rookie, and I was completely and totally blown away by it. The presence of this room and the people, and I've got some stories to tell about that later on. And as I sit here today, I'm still blown away by it. It's an amazing place. It's a magnificent place where really magnificent things can happen for the people of British Columbia. When you think about that less than 1,000 British Columbians have ever served in the role of MLA, and when you think about it again, over 140 years of history of this province, I got to be one of them. I got to be one of them, and I'm so proud of that. Columbia River-Revelstoke is the size of Switzerland. It's a little over 40,000 square kilometers. It's 6 mountain ranges and a ferry ride away from Victoria. It's where I live. It's closer to the capital of Edmonton. But as the MLA, it's been an honor and a privilege to serve, and I want to express my gratitude to my constituents and everyone that helped to get me to this place. As of today, when I'm leaving this place, I can say that my heart is full. I'm humbled. I truly am humbled to have been given this privilege. Being elected and remaining elected and serving elected is a team sport. And there's so many people that I want to thank, and if I miss anybody, I ask their forgiveness, because there's a long list of folks. My wife, Susan, who's up in the gallery, she's my rock. She's the best campaigner you could ever find. I can't tell you the number of doors and phones that she's been on. She's my fan, my most honest critic, sometimes too much, my best friend, and there's so many other things, and I love you. My daughters, Steph and Jen, and my son, Paul, they stood beside me all the way, supported me all the way through this. My granddaughter, Ava, who's going to turn 15, I can't believe she's turning 15 this week, tomorrow actually. Same birthday as my son. Shay, Nate, Parker, and Dawson, who live in the United States, they give me calls and say, you can do this, you can do this. And my son-in-law, Devin Dubnik, who played for Go Edmonton Go tonight, played for the Edmonton Oilers, retired in the NHL in Minnesota, and now broadcasts for the NHL, but I got to stick with the Oilers. They've all been there for me with their love and their support, and it's been endless. And for that, I can't think of a greater joy than any man could ask for. I also want to recognize someone who sat in this House for 16 years, someone who I would not be here if he hadn't taken me under his arm and wing, and that's Bill Bennett. And everybody knows Bill Bennett. How could you forget him? How could you forget him? First time I met him was in the cafeteria in Kimberley, and I was decided to run, and in walks this guy that I saw on TV the night before, who had just got kicked out of cabinet. I go, oh my God, this is going to be a gong show. And then he sat down right beside me in the restaurant, and I was talking away, and then he interjected, which sometimes Bill does. And it took me about 30 seconds, and he said, that's because you're not that bright, it should have taken you last. Didn't realize this guy knows what the hell he's talking about, and forgive me, Mr. Speaker, I'm going to go out. I don't want to get kicked out of here again. That's already happened once. But, just once, yeah. But I realized I got to listen to this guy, he knows what he's talking about. And I remember during my first campaign, I'd phone him and I'd say, I got some, and this was in 2013, I got some really good ideas, and what do you think? He goes, you know, those are really good ideas, but this is what you're going to do. And I tell you what, I listened to him all along the way, and him and I and his wife Beth and my wife Susan have become best of friends. And then later in your life, you don't think that you'll find like a bestie. Well, that's the relationship that we've found. We go on vacations together, we fish, we hunt. I'm going to do a lot more hunting with Bill coming up. But I just want to thank Bill and Beth for the support that they've given me since 2013. He's still as crotchety as he was always, but I'll tell you what, he's still smart, and smart like a fox. So I just want to thank Bill for everything along that. I also want to thank Christy Clark. When I first moved to British Columbia, I was going to run federally, and Christy helped me understand that that wasn't the right idea. Found out it's very hard to say no to that woman. But she also never wavered once in her belief in me that I could win an NDP riding. And I remember during my campaigns in 2013, 2017, specifically in 2017, she showed up with her bus. I had no idea she was coming. She says, "That's because I think you're going to win this riding." Even though our pollsters said it wasn't going to happen, that's what polls are all about. But I just want to thank Christy for, she never wavered. And she supported me, and we won, and we held it in the subsequent election. So I owe a lot to Christy and the encouragement she gave me. My brother Larry and my wife Marie, they were all there as well. Our friends Bev and Al across the road that own the resort, they were there for me. Our riding executive and so many others, Todd Mitchell, who was my bag man. That guy can raise money, let me tell you. He was there with me from day one. Mark McKee, who was the mayor of Revelstoke, he actually ran for us in 2009. Peter Bernacki, George Bueller, he's a hook and bullet guy. There's nobody, a guide outfitter. He's 84 years old, and I sure wouldn't want to fight him. He's a tough old guy. Judy Blakely, Doug McIntosh, Stephen Began, Wendy Booth, Matt Campbell, Frank O'Grady, William McCroysdale, and so many others. This is a team sport, and I had a hell of a team behind me, and I'm so grateful for that. In the 2020 election, that was supposed to never happen, but it did, we had over 150 volunteers on the phones, because I didn't go door to door, but on the phones. And what I discovered about volunteerism, there's nothing stronger than the heart of a volunteer that's committed. And I'm so grateful for all those people who decided I was going to be their guy. I want to talk a little bit about my political family. There's no clock running here. That's good. That's good. We have a caucus that is just truly amazing, and a leader that I am so proud to support. My only regret around Kevin Falcon is that I won't be here to serve with him when he's premier of this province. So I'm so proud of Kevin and what he's been able to achieve and bringing us together. But we have an amazing caucus together, some of the most amazing people in this country. We have laughed together. We've fought with each other. We've bled together. We've dreamed together, and the thing about our leadership is that those dreams we put into action. There are people who care about other people. It's a true team, and they always have your back. But most of all, they're a team who cares about the people of British Columbia with all of their hearts. People who will do whatever it takes to help their constituents, like Jackie Taggart and her people in Lytton, above and beyond duty. The wonderful things that they've done, to talk about everything, I'd need days to do that. But I do want to mention a couple of them. Shirley Bond, who, when Shirley became the interim leader, appointed me part of her leadership team. This is one of the most amazing women I have ever met. Donna Barnett, who was in her mid to late 70s when she was here with us and with me, she's the feistiest woman I've ever met in my life. And she'll tell you exactly. You never get a knife in your back, you get a punch in the face. Then there's Mike DeYoung, who every time stands up in this house, I learn something from. Just an amazing orator, and I tell you, I've been lucky to do that. Todd Stone, who has been not only an incredible House leader, but he's grown so much, and he's got such passion for this job. So I want to recognize Mike Morris, who is one of the most principled men I think I've ever met. And then Lauren Dirksen, who was my deputy whip. We had a lot of fun, and we navigated. And I could go through the entire list of people, but I can't. But who I do want to talk about really quickly is Greg Kylo. Greg has been my roommate for the last 7 years. And it's like I spent more time with Greg than my wife. Not that that's a bad thing. But, and we started out as roommates, but I honestly consider him now to be like my little brother. He's become my family, and we always will be family. And his family's my family. And it just goes to show you that through this job, lifelong friendships can be built. And what amazing experience it's been to work with these people. So I just want to say to my caucus, thank you so very much. And I love you all. My riding elected partners, Mayor Gary Soltz from Revelstoke, Ron Zeus from Golden, Director Karen Cathcart from the CSRD, Roberta Sneeder from Area G with the RDEK, Mike Gray, the Mayor of Radium, Al Miller, the Mayor of Invermere, my wife, the Area F representative, Mark Doherty, the Mayor of Canal Flats, Jane Walter, the Director for Area E for the RDEK, and Mayor Don McCormick from Kimberley. I have 10 elected officials with all those councils. That just goes to show you, you can't swing a cat by the tail and not hit a government official in my riding. Not that we would swing cats by the tail, just clarification. I'm a dog guy. We've worked and together we've worked on successes with Three Valley Gap and the fencing around Three Valley Gap. I remember in Premier's estimates, I brought that to Mr. Horgan's attention, and Modi told me they'd never seen anything happen so quickly, and we got that done, and I want to thank them for that. The creation of Cherry Creek Falls Regional Park. That's a long story there, but we did that. We actually got that park taken out of the mining tenure. That was the first time that ever happened in the history of BC. We got $3,000 for Angel Flight. It took me 2 years and a lot of pressure, but I want to thank Mike Farnworth. We got $15 million for Avalanche Canada, which was so needed for 15 years. So thank you, sir, for that. BC EMS with their SOCs. I remember being on the phone with the Mayor of Kimberley and the Mayor of Golden with the Minister of Health. And we worked through that, and we told him it's not going to work in rural British Columbia, and he listened. He listened. Golder Water Company. Water, as the critic of the Columbia River Treaty, water is gold. We hope that, and our negotiators are doing a wonderful job, but a water company came into Golden from China, and led by a group of passionate women in Golden, the Golden Water Guardians, they called themselves. They called me and they said, we got to shut this down. Well, the then Minister of Forests and Lands and Water, or whatever it was, Katrine Conroy, I talked to her, and well, that application still sits on the front desk. We tracked them down. Their office was in a residence in Richmond. So it wasn't all that legitimate. And I could go on and on about the things. And the Kicking Horse Canyon. And that was a huge achievement that we all worked on. But I got to tell you, I want to give creds to Modi, to two people, Hillary Barnett, who's now the regional manager, and Katie Ward, who was the regional manager. They are still awesome people. And when we had a problem, we got it done. They took care of it. And also, we were going to lose 2 of our traffic members with the RCMP. Public Safety Minister made sure that that didn't happen either. So you can work across the lines with each other, and that's what I learned very quickly. My non-political family, Kevin Dixon, Stephanie Marshall-White, Lou Bardstein, and all the other staff in this building, and Rachel Loganberg, who was my first CA, set up my offices, Stacy Bentrout, Siobhan Stoplin and Chelsea Muhlendyke. I could not have done this without them. The Speaker, thank you, sir. It's been an honor and a privilege. And then there's Kate.
I love you too, Doug.
Yeah. Well, what's not to love, pal? Kate, the kindest person and the most patient person, because you have to be patient with me. I just want to say thank you so much, Kate, for all the work that you've done. And Arturo popped up the other day and tried to explain to me how a few things work, and he didn't get too frustrated, but we got through it. Thank you so much. Thank you to everybody in the clerk's office. The Sergeant at Arms. We knew when he came in he was going to be great because he was from Calgary. Worked for the best police service in Canada, the Calgary Police Service. And you know he's got respect because he's the only one in this house right now that's packing heat. So I want to say thank you to the Sergeant at Arms and all the other staff in this house, the guys and the women that give us water and keep us well taken care of. It's been a pleasure getting to know you guys as well. And I've had some unique experiences in this building, and I'm going to share these with you very quickly. I remember getting lost the first day I was here, and I was in a place where nobody's ever been, I don't think, in the basement. And this security officer that works for the Sergeant at Arms said, what are you doing here? I said, I'm so lost. But don't tell anybody. So she was able to get me out of there. And then I got lost again, and I was wandering around. The session was in, and of course, not to be out of the building. I was wandering around the Rose Garden, and I guess our whip, Eric Foster, said, Klobuchar's in the Rose Garden. And Christie, I guess, leaned back and said to one of the RCMP detail, go get him, we got a runner. But I was back in the building by the time they came out, but I did hear about it in the caucus that night. I've been the whip. I've been parliamentary secretary to Premier Clark. I would like to have had that last a little longer. But in any event, it was a great experience. I've been the Shadow Minister for Tourism, Arts and Culture, the Shadow Minister for Indigenous Affairs and Reconciliation with Michael Lee, Shadow Minister for the Columbia River Treaty, Columbia Basin Trust, and Columbia Power Corporation. We need to spend more time on that. Water is so precious, and the Americans want it. They want it. Deputy Chair for the member of the Select Standing Committee on Finance and Government Services, Deputy Chair for the Special Committee to appoint the Chief Electoral Officer, and a member of the Select Standing Committee on Indigenous Affairs and Reconciliation. I've had some great experiences, and I'm so profoundly grateful for those. Very quickly here, the protesters, the memories, I could go through a whole bunch of them, but I think one of the ones, they had a protest here, and the Victoria Police Service was escorting me into the building, and it was kind of like on Seinfeld. Have you ever seen the spitting episode? This guy tried to spit on me, and well, when you do that to somebody from the Kootenays, those are fighting words. So I went after him, but the police grabbed me and said, we're going to have to hook up the wrong guy here. So we stopped doing that, but that was an interesting event. Again, I want to thank my constituents. I made them 3 promises in 2013. Guy asked me to tell him what I could promise them, and I said, that's easy. I got to go last because everyone was reading off their scripts. I said, I'll never lie to you. I'll work my ass off for you, and the rest we'll figure out together. And that's exactly what we've done. That's exactly what we've done. So just to sum up quickly, because I'm getting the hook.
11 seconds.
11 seconds? Oh, there's a clock now. See, these interruptions give me more time. I think the future is going to be incredibly exciting for me. It's always been in my life and my career, whatever I've done, and I'm excited for it. Since 2017, we faced our fair share of challenges from COVID, the forest fires, wildfire protection issues, healthcare issues, affordability issues, safety issues, mental health and addictions issues, and the issues go on and on, but that's part of this job. As a riding in a province, and this is really important because I think we live in some really troubled times, and it's sad to see this. It really is the conflict in the world, the conflict that's in this province, that's in this city, that's everywhere. It's rife. And as we as a riding, Columbia River-Revelstoke, in a province and a country, become more diverse, we must work harder to unite around our common values. We have to work hard on those common values and our common humanity. And that's who we are as British Columbians. So we've got to never forget that we are British Columbians first. I think Robert E. Lee said that, and it didn't work out well for him. But I really believe that. We can overcome all of this. And I just want to say, Mr. Speaker, that it's been a hell of a ride, and I look forward to continuing to serve until the next election. And I'm going to be working hard for our candidate, who's absolutely an amazing guy, 6'5" guy. Yeah, and you're almost as tall as him. He's a little fella, but he's going to be an amazing candidate. And I want to thank everybody here again for this opportunity, and it's been amazing. Thank you.